go to the GitHub desktop. You're going to download for Windows. You're going to come up here. You're going to click on this, wherever your downloads are. You may have to go to the folder. You're going to click on that. We are going to install it. Once you install it, it's going to come up with this. Sign into GitHub. Now, you should have already created an account, which means, sure, we do not have GitHub Enterprise at this time. Sign into github.com. Click, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm already signed in, but you would sign in normally somewhere here with your new account, whatever that is. Continue. I'm going to go ahead and say always allow. Open GitHub desktop. Then it's going to say use my GitHub account name and email address. Yes. Name. Finish. And then we have this. It says create a tutorial repository. Clone a repository from the internet to create a new repository on your local drive. Add an existing repository. What do you guys think we're going to do? What we're going to do is clone a repository, or sorry, excuse me, create a new repository from local drive. Okay? And I'm going to click on this button right here, and the repository name is going to be, in my case, period 5, my game. Description. I don't think I need one, but yeah, I don't think I need one. I'm going to leave that alone for now. This is the most important piece of information in the process right here. I'm going to choose the folder that I'm using, which in my case is CS Principles 2024 Fall, and then I'm going to class code, I'm going to period 5, and I'm going to game. I'm in the folder. Yeah? Choose the folder. Okay? And here's where it gets weird, because I'm not actually sure what it's about to do. I think it's going to create period 5 my game in there, so I'm actually going to go out and make sure again that I'm in the right place, because I'm going to wind up having to move my files into this new folder it's about to create. Okay? So anyway, I'm selecting this. I'm creating a repository. A licensing is going to be set to MIT. Git ignore is just set to none. And I am going to initialize this with a README. Okay? And then I'm going to say create repository. Now, it might look like it didn't do a whole lot there, but this repository is only available on my local machine. By publishing it on GitHub, you can share it, collaborate with others. I'm going to click Publish Repository. Period 5 my game. And click Publish. Keep this code private? Absolutely not. This is why I'm recording this, so all of you who are not quite dialed in or locked in, as the kids say, come back to this and realize, yeah, I screwed up and didn't make it public. And now Mr. Kozart can't see it because the link is private, which means I can't share my files publicly. I'm publishing the repository right now. Now, I can say show and explore or view on GitHub. View on GitHub means go to the internet and see the thing I just created, which is right here. Period 5 my game. Okay? You have just created a web page, sort of, right? You've created a site where you can put your files. That is pretty cool, right? Again, the steps were that I created a new repository, but it's a little weird because we're going to have to go over to VS Code and actually look at said repository. And what you're going to find out is that we created a game folder and then period 5 my game inside game, which means we're going to have to move these files into here. Okay, which we'll go ahead and do now. I will do now to show you how that works. Come in here and move them. They are now in period 5 my game. Now this is a little redundant in terms of naming, but that's okay. The next thing we're going to do is click on this, and I don't want to download Git for Windows because I already did, but VS Code was open when I installed GitHub Desktop, so I'm going to close it, And I'm even going to close GitHub Desktop, but right here I'm going to actually say pin to taskbar because I'm going to be using it a lot. I'm going to close it, reopen it, and it says all the stuff is in here. But when I open up VS Code, right, and I click over here on this repository, it's going to still say, do I want to download Get for Windows? So we'll go around this in a later video about how we're going to get this up and running. But we're ultimately going to be able to upload directly from VS Code later. But let's not worry about that right now. So that is the extent of installing and then setting up a repository.